What's going on YouTube? JT Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic book reviews. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about Dark Crisis Young Justice, issue number 4 of 6. We're past the halfway point in this random tie-in spin-off of Dark Crisis. I don't even know why this is even like in connection to Dark Crisis. It has almost nothing to do with the whole Pariah storyline thing. Yeah, it's connected in some way, but it doesn't feel like it's advancing that plot forward. In fact, the reveal of like who's behind this whole thing is the son of Mr. Mickey Mixel-Pitalik, and his whole reasoning is, you guys can't leave this world or you'll ruin our childhood or something like that, because you got to stay in the past like this. You got to be like the old Young Justice. You can't be like this new Young Justice, because new Young Justice bad and I'm the villain, which means that the new Young Justice is great and this is the old stuff is really toxic and all that other crap. That's basically the issue in a nutshell. It reads like somebody who knows a little bit about the Young Justice but hates the Young Justice, at least what it used to be, and thinks I can do a lot better than that. That's this issue in a nutshell. That's at least what it comes across to me. Now, I'm somebody who just thought like the first few issues, I didn't despise them like everybody else, but I didn't think they were all that great. And now as it's going on, I'm like, yeah, this is just not very good. I still don't despise it like a lot of people do, as I've come to realize, but I just don't really care for this thing. And like even by the end of it, I'm like, what's the point of this thing? Why am I reading this? Because I'm just a completionist who has to read everything Young Justice wise. This is just not very good, all things considered. I don't even know what the real point of this whole thing is. It's just, why is this even a tie into Dark Crisis? They should have just had this be its own thing. Didn't necessarily need to be connected to it all. It's just not great. So yeah, they're all, the continuity and whatever it all is with DC, I don't understand it anymore. I don't think even most DC writers know what's canon, what's not. It just feels kind of jumbled and all over the place. And it can be kind of hard to follow with some of the stuff, like the references and all that. I'm not as familiar with the 90s Young Justice stuff, but this reads like something by somebody who just really doesn't like it. At least that's what it comes across to me. I think a lot of people may feel the same way. I'm not 100% sure, but just with kind of some of the lines and all that. And yeah, it feels really mean-spirited, just the way these characters are kind of written, the way like Tim, Bart, and Khan all interact off each other. Then you have Cassie and Sissy and like Red Tornado. They just feel like miserable around each other. It just feels really like there's a lot of angst, and yeah, these are teenagers. At least I think so at this point. Who knows with Tim Drake, that guy, like the character who never seems to age, who should be like a lot older, but then is somehow just still kind of younger. But like other characters are kind of aging up past him. You just wait, give it a few years, Damian will be older than Tim. Tim is going to be, you know what Tim reminds me of? He's like Peter Pan, and he's just kind of stuck in Neverland and never seems to age and wants to be a young boy forever. That's the way it comes. That's the way when I see Tim in a lot of this stuff nowadays. His book, by the way, I think it's coming out next week. I don't think I'll be reviewing that, just based on like the stuff with the based on the creative teams, the same as this, and some of the stuff they said about the book, with just constantly needing to like just bring down other characters to prop up their book is just what I've come across with some of the interviews. And I'm like, no, you know what? I'm just not going to read it, because like this is just not very good. So yeah, they do their thing. They fight all these different characters, like Cassie Smark is off looking for them. They run into the son of Mr. Mixel-Pitalik, and he was putting together this whole world for them. He's just like, you guys need to stay here. You have to stay here or you'll ruin our childhood. So yeah, and then the final line is, I can't help but think about Mr. Mixel-Pitalik having sex. And then that's how the book ends. It's not very good. Why do we need this character in here? Why not just use Mixel-Pitalik, but we'll just have his son who's just a fan of this all, and he's trying to create this whole world and all this other stuff. It's just, I don't really quite care for it. Like, like I said, it feels like it's written by somebody who did not like Young Justice, and is just writing this book. So artwork is pretty good. I'll give it that. I think Laura Braga was the artist with Luis Guerrero on the colors. So at least the artwork is nice, but the story itself, not very interesting, not very great. It just doesn't feel like I'm reading a story where somebody actually likes what they're writing, if that makes any sense. I don't know if I'm the only one who notices this, but I just could care less for what's happening in this story. Its tie-ins to Dark Crisis, all the Dark Crisis tie-ins outside of the Flash one's actually genuinely good, and I'll be covering that video, that issue this week that came out next. Feels so like absent from it, but they don't feel all that necessary to read. Like, at least Flash, it's connected to Dark Crisis, but it doesn't lose the feel of the Flash book, and it's actually really good for the most part. So this is just another kind of crappy spinoff. I don't know why we need this to be attached to Dark Crisis. It's not very great, and only 2 issues left in this spinoff, and then it'll be over, just like Dark Crisis. So yeah, I don't recommend it, and I've kind of come around with like pretty much most people in saying it's not that great. But if you like it, I want to know why, and I'm not going to berate you for liking it. I mean, if you like something, that's great. I'm happy for you. I just am at the point where I'm like, I just don't really care for this story. It's just not that great to me. But I want to know your thoughts on that. If you like it or if you dislike it, tell me in the comment section down below. Be sure to hit the like on this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content, all that other fun stuff. And yeah, that's all I got to say about this one. I got a few more videos to cover in terms of comic books, and then I will be all set. As always, take care now. Bye-bye then, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.